Well, after 18 weeks of regular season football and 3 weeks of the postseason, not to mention an extra week for the Pro Bowl, we are finally here. It's time for Super Bowl 58, and boy, is it going to be a good game. Representing the AFC is the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions. And representing the NFC is the San Francisco 49ers, who for large stretches of the season have looked like the best team in football. So, what's going to happen? Who's going to win? This is the Sports Ball Network, and this is our Super Bowl 58 predictions. Looking at the overview of this game, it is being played in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's the first Super Bowl to be played in Las Vegas, and it's set up to be a good one. As I mentioned, representing the NFC is the San Francisco 49ers. They are led by quarterback Brock Purdy, who on the season has thrown for 4,280 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. On the ground, it's Christian McCaffrey leading the way for San Francisco, who has 1,459 yards and 14 touchdowns on 272 carries. And leading the San Francisco receiving room, a room that includes Debo Samuel, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey, is Brandon Ayuk with 75 receptions for 1,342 yards and 7 touchdowns on the year. For Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes leads the way, 4,183 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions in the air for him. Isaiah Pacheco leads things on the ground, 205 carries, 935 yards, and 7 touchdowns for him. And Travis Kelce leads the team in receiving, 93 receptions, 984 yards, and 5 touchdowns for him on the year. The injury report is good if you are a San Francisco 49ers fan. There are no injuries for the team going into the Super Bowl. Everybody is available and ready to go. For Kansas City, things aren't as positive. You have Charles Omenihu at defensive end on IR. He's going to be out. Joe Tooney, questionable. Sky Moore, also questionable. And Jerick McKinnon is questionable, though still on the IR here. The Chiefs, over their last 5 games, have won all 5, including 3 straight playoff games against Miami, Buffalo, and Baltimore. 3 of the best teams in the AFC. They have really done what they needed to do in order to get back here. San Francisco, meanwhile, has gone 3-2 over their last 5 games. That big Christmas loss to Baltimore. Then they won against the Washington Commanders, lost in the season finale to the Rams, although that did not really matter given they had the 1 seed wrapped up. And in the divisional round, they eked out a win against the Green Bay Packers. And in the NFC Championship game, they managed to rally late and beat Detroit 34-31 to get here to the Super Bowl. Going into the game, San Francisco is seen as a pretty heavy favorite, favored 60% to 40% in most simulations. But if you look at the spread and the odds, San Francisco opens here as a 2.5 point favorite and -1.5 on the spread. So basically, that's saying that this game could go either way. And looking at the talent on these teams, you can see why. San Francisco obviously has a plethora of weapons on offense. Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Brock Purdy. On the defense, they have Frank Warner, Nick Bosa, Chase Young. For Kansas City, it's much the same. They have Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, Patrick Mahomes on the offense, George Karlaftis, Chris Jones leading the defense, as well as L'Jarius Sneed. This game's gonna be a good one, and there are a lot of stars coming to play in Las Vegas. Looking now at the statistical breakdown of the teams, uh, both of them are really, really good. We'll start with San Francisco. They have the second best offense in the league on the year, fourth in passing, third in rushing. They also have the eighth best defense. So, two top 10 units. Just they have been phenomenal. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, ninth ranked offense in the league, sixth in passing, 19th in rushing. So, they really like to sling the ball a lot. On the ground, they struggle a little bit more, but overall, still a great unit there. And then the second best defense in the league. So Kansas City's also bringing two top 10 units here. Last meeting these two teams had was back in October of 2022. Kansas City won 44-23. This is actually these teams' second time meeting in the Super Bowl in the past 5 years as well. And Kansas City won that encounter, beating the San Francisco 49ers 31-20 in Super Bowl 54 as Kansas City came back in the fourth quarter and won Andy Reid's first Super Bowl. So, who's going to win this one? Is it going to be Kansas City, led by Patrick Mahomes, or is it going to be San Francisco, led by Brock Purdy? If I had to guess right now, I would personally say San Francisco is more likely to win this one. I think they are the slightly better team. They're just really talented. They've looked like the best team in football for a lot of the year. But as of late, they have struggled a little bit. And although they've won when it counted, that's not to say that they're invincible. They lost pretty badly to Baltimore on Christmas. They nearly lost the NFC Championship game to Detroit 2 weeks ago, and they nearly lost to the seventh seed Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. So while I would say San Francisco is the favorite here, they are by no means unbeatable for Kansas City. And Kansas City, of course, is led by perhaps the greatest quarterback we've seen since Tom Brady. Mahomes is probably going to end his career as a top five quarterback of all time. And he has experience in these types of games and winning these types of games. Brock Purdy has not had that much experience yet, so we don't know how he's going to do in the Super Bowl. Still, give me San Francisco in this one. I think their team is just too good. They are coming in completely healthy. And I believe that Kyle Shanahan will finally win his first Super Bowl. That being said, I would not be too surprised if it is Kansas City on the podium instead by the time the confetti falls. Thank you so much once again for watching the Sports Ball Network. Me and my co-host put a lot of effort into these videos, so we appreciate all the support. If you liked what you saw here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel. We'll be pumping out more content into the off season for the NFL and for football. I got quite a few video ideas here, so stick around for them. And of course, as always, we'll catch you in the next one.